We're gonna celebrate. Run and dance so free.
One more time. Hey, everybody, I think
Oh
we're
my god, I hear
live
you.
here. I don't know how this is going because we don't exactly know what we're doing, but welcome to that fantasy show. I am your host, Michael Amen. Dance with me, joined by my beautiful co host, Miss Ella Amen. How's
Hi
it going?
guys.
All right, I think we're ready to kick this off. So, if we could just go on ahead and give ourselves a little introduction.
And dance so free.
So, Ella, tell me a little bit about yourself.
My name is Ella Renee, and I actually love dancing, and I also love coloring and painting. That is my hobby. And I love to pet my dog Buster, and I love to meet new people.
Okay, so my name is, besides Daddy, I'm Michael Amend. I have been playing fantasy sports now for about, 2005. So, what's that? That's 19 years.
Yep, that is
So
true.
I am 19 years deep of a fantasy sports expert, and we're gonna try to help the people out. So like I said, we are beginners. We're obviously very novice. This is our first attempt at trying anything like this, and we're having technical difficulties. So we're trying to figure out our technical difficulties, but I don't know what we're gonna do. But Ella, I think that a good way that we can start off our podcast, what do you say we do the Pledge of Allegiance?
Yep, let's do that.
Well, what you got?
Okay.
Here we go.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well done. All right. That kind of gets me going on a little day like today. It's a big day for our country. Do you understand what's going on?
Yep.
So, it is the first full day of NFL football. Big day in America. Everybody loves to celebrate.
Yep.
Your team has a chance to, you can do anything. You can be anything. If you weren't good last year, you can be good this year.
Yeah. If you don't get it, then you can always try again.
That is good advice.
Like my teacher told me, when you make mistakes, you learn.
And that is exactly what this show is about, Ella, because let me tell you one thing. So, we might not know what we're doing with the technical side. We might not understand how to put on a show or a podcast because we don't know. We never did this before. But the only way we are going to get better is we got to try, right? We got to try. So, we're going to sit here and we're going to try our best. We're going to give our best for all of this, and hopefully we can help the people out with their fantasy teams, and maybe they can win some games.
Yeah,
And
maybe
if
they
not,
can win.
if not, we at least gonna party in the USA today, huh? That's what I'm talking about, cutie. I want to thank you for being a part of this with me because this is definitely not something that's easy, as I've said. So, a lot of the plan for the show is I did want to go over some fantasy rankings. So, we will let people uh, possibly sway your decision on who you're going to start, who you're going to sit. We're going to go over that. And also, we are going to go over the Closing with Steve Dynasty League. That's fun to say, huh? So, in this league, this is why this show has even started. This is an expert dynasty league, which, if you don't know what that is, you keep your players every year and you just draft a couple new ones. And our plan for this is we're just going to go along with these experts and we'll cover the league, how they do, wins, losses, records. Maybe somebody makes some expert moves that could help out some novice people. So, we'll see what we can do there and we'll get everything going. So, one of the first things I wanted to get into was going straight into some rankings. So, I do have a screen behind me. Again, like I said, we're not the most technical here. I don't know how to put it up on the screen, and I know you exactly can't read it, but I'm going to go sit here and go over a couple of the rankings, highlight a few players that I love, and like I said, maybe this helps you out in your team. And
Yep.
if not, like I said, we're trying. What you think? We should go ahead.
Yep.
All right. What you think about this song? I like this one. I'll get some fun.
3 times is a charm. Three
It,
times is a charm.
it is. Okay, so anyway, in quarterback rank, move this flag out of your face, baby. I feel like the people can't see you, and you're too pretty for that. So a lot of the quarterback rankings, obviously the top 8 to 10 guys, you don't need my help in telling who to start, what we're gonna do here. You got Josh Allen. If you got guys like Anthony Richardson, C.J. Stroud, you're pretty much starting these guys today. Yeah, go ahead, feel that vibe, babe. My personal favorite today, Joe Burrow, a guy who's had full preseason, off season. He's never had that in his career. He was always dealing with something, whether it was an injury or he had his appendix last year. This year, words from camp, he's been looking pretty good. He's excited. He may not have his best receivers today, but that doesn't mean he doesn't have capable receivers, guys that won't be able to still get the job done. So hopefully, he's able to handle that.
Yeah.
But other than that, so if we start looking outside of the top 10, because like I said, most guys, you don't need my help to tell you to start a top 10 quarterback. But if we're looking around guys that are ranked like 11 to 17 this week, there's some good talent there. So if you don't have one of the top guys and you're just looking for like a spot starter, names right here coming in at 13, Trevor Lawrence. I don't expect a huge day out of him, but it could be a respectable
Yep.
day. Names like Baker Mayfield, that's another one. It's not a sexy name, but it's just a consistent fantasy scoring quarterback. Opened the season at home. He's probably the lowest buzz Baker's had throughout his whole career. So that's another guy. And then if you're looking down even further, guys like Brock Purdy and Justin Herbert ranked 18th and 20. These guys are going to put up a decent amount of points. So quarterback rankings pretty standard. All of the top, 15 guys are going to go ahead and do enough where you could possibly win your week. If you're unlucky and you don't have anyone inside of the top 18, maybe
No.
there's a flyer on
Because
guys like Deshaun Watson or Aaron Rodgers. These guys may be able to help out, may get you some yards, a couple touchdowns, may have a turnover here and there, but there's definitely plenty of guys that can help you out here. So now, Ella, I'm going to talk about running backs. Those are the guys that carry the ball and run the ball, as we are very patriotic here on our fantasy show. So again, same thing with running backs. The top 20 guys, no one needs me to tell you to start them, and I'm not benching anybody based on anything negative I hear about these top guys. You had a good draft. You put a lot of time and thought into your running backs. You're gonna go ahead and start these guys. Maybe later in the season, there's some questions, bye weeks, some injuries, strong or weak matchups against defenses. But we're gonna start looking outside of the top 20 here, and there's a couple guys that I really like to have a pretty big day. First, Najee Harris for Pittsburgh. Atlanta didn't have the best defense last year. They were clearly lacking in the run stoppage game. So just Pittsburgh, always strong, solid team. They're not going to go under 500. They like to run the ball. They got, seems like, competent quarterback play this year. So Najee Harris is a guy that I like to start today outside of the top 20. And then even guys like Zamir White for Las Vegas or Devin Singletary. These are also guys that I like that can be suitable for your team. And then if you want to go outside of the top 30, if you're looking for guys, maybe you went heavy in receiver. A lot of guys like to do the zero RB strategy. You know what that is, Ella?
I think.
Well, that means that you don't really care about having the best running backs. You'd rather have like the best receivers or the best quarterback or tight end. And a lot of people are behind that strategy. And I kind of am too. I definitely like having the best receivers. I always think that's the best way to go, especially if you're doing a PPR league. That's where you get points for each catch. But anyway, two guys outside of the top 30 that I like today are Chase Brown and Tajay Spears.
Ooh, Chase Brown.
Yeah, Chase Brown is a Bengal. That's our team, huh? If you haven't noticed by the jerseys over our back, we love us our Bengals. You want to do the little Who Dey chant? We can get them ready. Who Dey? Who Dey? Who they think gonna beat them Bengals? Who Dey?
Who Dey?
Who Dey? Who
Who
they
they
think will
gonna
beat
beat
them
them
Bengals?
Bengals? Nobody.
Nobody. Yes, Chase Brown in his second year, and I love second year running back. Same with Tajay Spears. These guys got a full year under their system. They pick up blitzing schemes now. They're pass catching backs. They're definitely shifty. They do have other guys they're sharing the backfield with, but that doesn't mean that when they get their work that they're not going to do something with their work. So there's a couple guys I like. And then if you have to start somebody outside of the top 40, you can take a flyer on somebody like Tyler Algier, just getting some backup reps behind Bijan Robinson, or even if you had to go Zach Carbonet, getting some work behind Kenneth Walker. I think those are respectable guys that'll still get you some work done. But everybody's pretty much got somebody inside the top 20, so we should be
Jack
go there.
Jack Carpenter?
Yeah.
Is that his name?
No. And then
Sorry if I said his name.
that's okay. You can say whatever you want. This is our show. Okay, so for receiver rankings, which I would definitely like to go over again, same thing. You don't need me to tell you to start these guys in the top 20, top 30. Most leagues start 2 receivers, some start 3. I just like to look again outside 25 to 30, 40. There's a couple big names. One of the names I absolutely love, Chris Godwin. You ever heard of Chris Godwin?
I think.
Okay, well, he plays for a team called Tampa Bay, and
I
he
think I've heard that name
he
before.
gets a lot of yards. And like I said, if you listened earlier, I talked about Baker Mayfield possibly having a big day. I also think that because of that, Chris Godwin, Mike Evans, these guys could have a big day. So we are hoping for Chris Godwin to have himself a big day. I also like near the top 25. He's 27. Tank Dell. This was one of my favorite receivers last year. Second year receiver. We are
too.
excited for Tank Dell. I actually owned him in one of my fantasy leagues. I was sad.
You did?
Yeah, I was sad. I had to trade him, but that's okay. We got value in return for him, but he's definitely one of my favorites. Another guy right around the top 40, Jackson Smith and Jigba from Seattle. This is a Buckeye of mine. Second year receiver again.
Buckeye.
I love second year players, and
Oh, second year players.
yeah, when you're in your second year, these guys, they're young, they're fast, they got a good grip of the system, they're ready to go. So there's a couple names for receiver that I really like. Jackson Smith. Also, if we go down here, right around the top 50, if you're in a 3 receiver league, you're looking for some help towards the bottom of the draft. Rashid Shaheed from New Orleans. This is a guy I love. Little speedster. It's a boom or bust day for him. But like I said, if you're looking for help outside the top 50, there's some help out there. So you can go ahead and do it. So, all right. I'll just move along pretty quick here. Again, not exactly sure what I'm doing. But if you're tuning in, thank you. We are trying our best here. We are going to go to some tight end rankings. So a lot of people, this is one of the weaker positions in fantasy sports, which I just wish that
We guys
there was
are
more
talking to
value,
you.
but there's not as much. But names like Trey McBride, Dalton Kincaid, Kyle Pitts, big names I love today. A lot of people have those. If you're outside of the top 12 and you need a tight end to start, I would start Pat Fryermuth, Pittsburgh. Very solid tight end. We are going to move it along now, and we are going to go into, because I don't really need to tell you defenses and kickers. Personally, I like to stream defenses, and kickers are all going to get about the same. These kickers are going to go anywhere from 7 to 12 points. Defenses are going to be anywhere from 3 to 10, 12 points. So I like to stay right there. You could pretty much get any guys with that. But now, guess what I would like to do, Ella?
What?
We are going to talk about the Closing with Steve League.
Yes.
So this is a Dynasty Expert League. And we are going to, throughout the year, we're going to follow along with this league. See how the matchups go, cover some of the better teams, the teams that have room for improvement. And we're just going to see how some experts do it. So in our league, you have to be named after a specific city or a state on the map. That means you can't just come up with some funny kooky name and it's not a place that doesn't exist. So we have people off in their cities, and our champion last year, you might know this, that was Uncle Brian, huh? Our
Yep.
champion was the team of Haddonfield Slashers, and I believe it was his first fantasy football ever win too. So congrats to Haddonfield out there. The guy had a solid draft. We did an auction draft if you don't know how dynasties work, and solid draft. He was very smart with his money, did everything right. His year went just phenomenal for him. Playoff run was good. Excellent job by him. Another team he met in the final, Allenville Mean Machine, very solid team. Uh, Congrats to those guys for making it to the final this year. It is a new year though, so everybody has a chance. Everybody's excited. If we go over some of the matchups right now, my personal matchup isn't looking the best.
Mine does.
Well, I am getting my butt kicked at the moment, again, as the aforementioned Allenville Mean Machine team has a very solid team. Uh, he had Jaden Reed, which that's going to really hurt me. So, again, this guy is an expert team. He's got a lot of second year guys. He's got the MVP or Super Bowl MVP on his team. Uh, Patrick Mahomes, just
Ooh.
filled with second year guys with a lot of talent. This team's going to be good for years to come. If we'll go over my team, the Elyria Pioneers, we're not going to tout ourselves too much, but this team made a big trade in the offseason and traded for the number one player in fantasy, Christian McCaffrey. I had to give up some talent. There was a couple receivers I gave up. Didn't want to do that. Gave up a running back that I liked for this year. Wasn't sure how much he would do after this year, but uh, I'm pretty young myself, Joe Burrow, but then I like the young backs, James Cook, Christian McCaffrey. Number one, how could I not make an offer for the trade? But Chase, Collins, Smith, Marvin Harrison in the draft had the first pick in the draft. That's a real solid team. Uh, if we go into another matchup, Haddonfield Slashers are reigning champion, and playing Miami is. Again, these teams are pretty evenly matched teams. A lot of us have young guys based off of the fact that we are in a
Oh
dynasty
my
league, so you want to be
gosh.
as young as possible. Uh,
Let's
Another
see,
matchup,
baby.
Santa Cruz and the Detroit Ballers. Two teams near the bottom of our
Let's
standings
see,
last year,
baby.
but definitely made some trades to get better this year. We're gonna follow along with these guys because I was at the bottom of the draft with these guys, and we want to be better this year. You ever done something, Ella, and you weren't as good as you wanted to be? You had to practice to get better.
Yeah.
I think that's what a lot of us guys had to do. So we've made some moves. I want to keep an eye on these two teams. Wish these guys luck. Hope everything works out this year for you guys. We not picking at the bottom of the draft next year. Let's go on ahead and just put that in the atmosphere. Then in another matchup, Scranton Strangler. That is my favorite name of the group. John and Las Vegas
Oh,
Outlaws. That's
John.
my buddy Pat out in Las Vegas. Pat was towards the bottom of the draft with me and the other two guys, and I don't know how because he has a very solid team. I liked his team all last year, but in fantasy sports, as everybody knows, it does not matter talent. You could have the best team, you could have the worst team. You're gonna win, you're gonna lose. That's how it goes. This team probably got a little bit unlucky last year, so hopefully he does a little better. The Scranton team, though, Scranton team won his division, and he's got a lot of young talent on his team. So uh, we'll keep an eye on this matchup right here. And then in our last matchup of the week, we have a new owner to the league, the Washington Sentinels. We had an owner leave last year. I found a guy to replace him. His first time doing a dynasty league like that, joined in year two. So hopefully he likes everything. Uh, he had the best team last year. He made a few trades to get guys on his team that he liked. And he's going against California Wildfire. This was our runner-up in the total points last year, and this team is loaded. You got to bring your lunch if you want to beat this team. But you like this song, huh? This is our Closing with Steve anthem song right here. You want to know
Ooh.
why we call it the Closing with Steve League? Fun fact, if no one ever knew this. Most of us had to close with Steve, and if you know anything about that, that means you'll never leave. We be in there forever.
Yeah,
So that's
forever.
kind of the premise of this league. We don't want people to leave this league. See how far we can take this dynasty league. Because it's fun and everybody loves fun, right? So we just want to sit back, have some fun. And honestly, the Closing with Steve League, this is how our show even came about, Ella, because without that, we wouldn't be here today. So we were having our rookie draft, and I was trying to come up with something to make this more fun. When you do a dynasty league and it's a rookie draft, there's only 2 rounds. So if we did this online with, you know, the standard time limit, this thing would have been over in about 10 minutes. So I needed to find a way to spice it up, make it fun, because that's what this is all about. Games are supposed to be fun, right, Ella? So
Yep.
we wanted to do some fun, and you helped me with a lot of the videos. With one of the other guys, I came up with the idea to do this like the actual commissioner, and I was coming out to booze, and I was announcing the picks that way. And because we did this that way, we ended up getting about a week of fun out of this
Ooh, yeah.
draft, which would have been over in 10 minutes if we would have done it the boring way. But we're not boring. We like to have fun.
Yeah, we
So,
like to.
we made these videos, and I was just posting these videos for the guys in our group. Ooh, my breakfast is coming to me. So, the guys in the group, and we were just posting them, and the best way to post them was YouTube, just so I'm not clogging everybody's storage on their phone, saving and downloading videos. Well, these things got some steam on YouTube, and they were getting viewed. And I have some
Ooh,
support. I want to tell you that we have an incredible support system, Ella. So I asked for help. I needed subscribers so we could do our show like this. We wanted to go live. This was the best way to do it. Even though we're nervous and we're scared, uh, this was the best way. So I asked people for help. I said, we need subscribers, and we're going to try to do a show. We're going to try to inform you on some fantasy stuff. And the people came through, and we got a lot of support system. The guys I work with, huge shout out to the guys I work with, man. Appreciate y'all, fellas. And a lot of my friends, I've been getting, even this morning, getting texts and snaps, well wishes for this. And that really helped, because honestly, I'm still nervous sitting here this day. I hope I'm not rambling too much. And we're gonna get better. That's obviously the premise to this, but we're moving right along here on the fantasy show. And again, just really thankful and grateful. And doing our draft videos is what gave me the inspiration and the courage to finally actually do this show, because this has been a dream of mine, Ella. And life will come at you hard, and you have to do everything you need to take care of your family, and sometimes your dreams can get put on hold. But me doing this is proof positive that it's never too late to chase your dreams. You can always believe, and believe it or not, people will always believe in you. So I've had an emotional couple weeks here trying to get this started, and I've had a lot of support, and it's really meant a lot to me. And like, I hope people always understand that. And
people will understand that
one of the
very
last
well.
things I wanted to cover, so people like to bet. People love betting on football, and you can make some money betting on football. Did you know that?
Yeah, I
So,
think.
Daddy's won some money time and time again, but I've lost some money time and time again. However, I am prepared today to not lose some money, because I have a couple bets that I think are going to hit. So I want to tell the people these things so that they can make some money.
They will if they watch these.
If they watch these, they're going to get this money. Okay, so the first thing, I'm going to give you a money line winner. And there's a little bit, you could go over stats all day, every day. I could make a case for both sides, but go on ahead and give me the Dallas Cowboys money line on the road today in Cleveland. It's varied anywhere from plus 122. I think it was down to plus 118 before I got on here today. I just love this. Even though the Browns are opening at home, there's a lot of excitement. There's always a lot of excitement, but I'm from Cleveland, and if there's one thing I know about Cleveland sports, it is heartbreak. And even though I'm from Cleveland and I'm not a Browns fan, I've seen them lose games they were expected to win,
You are
and
not
some
from
close stuff.
Cleveland.
So give me Dallas on the money line, and you could go on ahead and book that. And I have another book, and it has these other bets, and I'm going to be honest, that book is not in here with me right now. So we're just going to go ahead and stamp my button for the Dallas Cowboys at plus 122, and maybe I'll just have some gambling bets better for you next week. But now I would like to go on to a segment of the show that I am going to call Ella's Six. You ready, Ella?
Yep.
Okay, Ella. So we are going to let Ella give her picks in six of the games. So I'm going to put a list of teams up here, and you can look behind you here, and we are going to go ahead and you can pick whatever games you want, and we are going to tell these people what you think. Hold on one second, I'll get us loaded up here. Again,
Take your time.
like I said, I am not the most prepared. However, I do have a lot of courage.
I know.
Dun, 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 like this one. Okay, we're gonna go right here. Don't tap on it. Don't touch that. Yeah, yeah, just like that. We don't want to hurt these. Because this is a low budget show. It's not a no budget show, but it is a low budget show. I have spent some money on these microphones. Okay, let me get us to these scores right here. Okay, Ella. So right here, these are list of teams. If you see a game you want to pick from, go on ahead and stop me, and we'll see what we can do here.
Oh.
So who do you like? Do you want to pick out any? You got to pick from 6 games. You can pick anything. I will not help you a lick for this.
Okay.
You want to pick out of this game? You want to pick out of this one? Okay, so you have picked. This is the Tennessee Titans, and this is the Chicago Bears, and they are playing in Chicago. So they're at the Bears' house. So you know what you know. What would you like to pick?
Hmm. Maybe I'll pick probably the Bears.
Ooh, the Bears. That's a good pick. So Ella, in her Ella's 6 has picked the Chicago Bears as pick 1. What about this? Any of these next games? What do you like? Would you like to pick out of this one?
Maybe, yes.
Okay, out of this next game, we have the New England Patriots versus the Cincinnati Bengals. They're playing in Cincinnati. You know what you know? Who you picking?
This is going to be a hard one because I love Bengals and I love
The Patriots.
and I love the Patriots, but I'm probably if I had to pick one, I would probably pick the Bengals.
I like your pick. Who day, my little who day girl. Okay, so we have the Bears and the Bengals. Now let's see what's next. Do you want to pick out of this one or this one? This one? Okay, Ella has selected to pick out of the Jacksonville Jaguars or the Miami Dolphins. And they're playing in Miami. You know what you know? What do you pick?
Hmm. Actually, like both of those names.
Those are good names.
Yeah, but I'm probably gonna have to pick the Jaguars.
Ooh, the Jaguars. People will call that an upset, and I like that. So she's not just picking favorites. Okay, Ella has the Jaguars, the Bears, the Bengals, the Jaguars. Ella, 3 more picks left in the Ella 6. Would you like to pick out of these? You would like to pick out of this game. Go ahead, you can get your headphones situated there. We're good. So, you would like to pick out of the Carolina Panthers or the New Orleans Saints. They're playing in New Orleans. You know what you know. What are you going to pick?
Hmm. Again, I like those. Both of those names are actually really, really good names. But if I had to pick, I would probably have to pick.
Tough one.
Top.
Tough one. You like the Panthers?
Yeah.
Okay, we'll go with the Carolina Panthers. Those are both cool looking logos too. Don't you like them?
Yeah, those are really cool.
So I would go ahead and lock those in. Okay, what would you like to pick out of next, my love? You can pick any of these games. Ooh, this one looks good. So this is a matchup involving the Denver Broncos
Ooh, the Broncos.
and the Seattle Seahawks. They're playing in Seattle. What do you think?
If I had to pick, I would pick this one, but I'm probably gonna pick the Bronx.
Okay, we're gonna pick the Broncos. Okay, Denver Broncos. So if we are following along, that is 5 selections in our Ella 6 segment. Ella, you have one more game to pick from. You want to pick out of this game? So this is the Washington Commanders and the Tampa Bay Buccaneers.
Ooh, that's gonna be a hard one.
Yes, it is. I wonder what you will pick.
Um, Disney.
Which one? You want to pick out of this game? So we will cancel picking from the Commanders and Buccaneers. That's okay. We can do whatever we want. We are going to pick out of the Dallas Cowboys and the Cleveland Browns, and they are playing in Cleveland. What would you like to select?
The Browns.
So Ella will take the Browns. I'm sure Ann Dance and Uncle Art are gonna love that pick. So Ella's 6. If we go back and cover these again, and you can lock these in because this sounds like money, baby. Bears, Bengals, Jaguars, Panthers, Broncos, Browns. Going ahead and lock it in. The Ella 6. Good job, baby. I think you did that.
I think I did too.
I think you did a good job. I feel like we've covered everything we want. Maybe we'll just do a little outro and we will wish the people well and we will get on with our day. What you think?
That's a good idea.
Okay, so let's thank everybody for tuning in.
Thank you guys for
It's okay.
video. I hope you guys like it. And make sure you watch some more of these videos. These videos are actually really good. So make sure you watch those.
So thank you for that. Yes, we do need help with liking, subscribing, sharing, getting this out there. We are not going to do any engagement farming. I don't want to do bots. I don't want to buy followers, subscribers. We want to do this naturally and genuinely. Whether we have 5 watchers, 500 watchers, 5,000 watchers, even if nobody's watching, God's watching, our heart is watching, and our soul is watching. And we are committed to this. And we are doing our show, Ella. And
Yes.
just to let you know something, 80% of people that do shows like this, podcast shows, whatever you want to call it, they don't make it to the 4th episode. That means 4 out of 5 people give up on this before they make it to the 4th episode. And I can't believe that. And I tell you what, come hell or high water, you go see us for the 4th episode. You know what I mean? So I feel like we're about done here. We are going to wrap this up. Maybe we can go ahead and hit stop on that camera for me, and we're going to be okay. Again, thanks for tuning in for that fantasy show. Maybe we're going to hit stop on that camera. Thank you for tuning in for that fantasy show, everybody. Have a good day.
You have a good day, everybody.